As we already discussed that what will be the total cost of production and what will be the total sales. Now let us draw the break-even chart. Next topic is your break-even chart. Break-even chart, where we superimpose these two graphs which we already discussed. These two graphs, first one is the total cost. If you see from here that this will be the total cost graph, this is the fixed cost, variable cost, and this is the total cost. And we already see that what will be the sales graph, and if we superimpose both of them, then we will get the break-even chart, right? Now let us make this break-even chart. I'll make this. Suppose this is a y-axis, this is your x-axis, right? Here we have, on this y-axis we have cost, various cost, and on this x-axis we have number of units. So first of all, let us draw your total cost. Suppose this is the fixed cost, right? One second. This is the fixed cost. On this I'll draw the variable cost. So this is the variable cost. Let us say this is the variable cost. So if I write here, this is your fixed cost F, this is your variable cost, that is total variable cost will be equal to the variable cost of 1 unit into number of units produced. This is the variable cost. Now what is the total cost? Total cost will be the summation of both of this. So the total cost will be this one. This is your total cost, right? This is your total cost. Total cost, right? Total cost will be equal to fixed cost plus variable cost. Fixed cost plus variable cost. This is your total cost. Now if I draw the sales graph, so let us say that this will be the sales graph. Let us say this will be the sales graph. So here we have, this is your sales. So total sales will be equal to sale of 1 unit into number of unit produced or number of units sold. So this will be the sales graph. Now if we talk about that, if you see from here at this point, the sales cost will be equal to the total cost. So this point where the sales will be equal to the total cost of production, that point is known as your break-even point. This point is known as your break-even point. At this point, the total sales will be equal to total cost of production. So we can say at break-even point, we have total sales, after selling X product, total sales will be equal to total cost. Total sales will be equal to total cost. So at break-even point, the total sales will be equal to total cost. That means at break-even point, the profit of the organization will be zero. The profit will be zero, right? Because you will get the revenue which is equal to the cost of production. That means the total cost will be equal to the total sales, and that means the profit will be zero. So at break even point, the situation will be no profit, no loss situation, right? At break even point, we have no profit, no loss situation. So if you achieve this break even point, then you have no profit, no sales, no profit, no loss situation. So this is the break even point. So corresponding to this break even point, this is your number of units corresponding to break even point, right? If you able to sell this much amount of units corresponding to this break even point, then at this, you can say that there should not be any profit to the organization. If you produce or if you sold the number of units less than this break even point, suppose you produced, let us say, this much amount of units. Let us say you produced this much amount of unit, right? So at this point you can see that total cost is more than the total sale. This is total cost line, this is total sales line. So you will bear this much amount of cost for producing this unit, and you will get only this much. So at this point you will be in the loss. And if you produce more than this point, more than this X break even point, if you produce, suppose this one, right? And you can see at this point, this will be the total cost, and this will be the sales. This will be your sale. So we can say that at this point, if you are on the left side of this point, then your organization will be in the loss, and if you are on the right side of this point, then your organization will be in the profit. So we can say that if you see from here, I'll use this one. If you can see that this area, right, this area which we are showing here, right, this area will represent the loss. Here you will having some loss. This shaded area, if you produce the quantity corresponding to this, you will be in the loss. And we can say if you are at this point here, right, suppose I'll draw this with the help of like this. This shaded area, here we have some profit. Here you have profit. That means if you are far away from this break even point, then your profit will be more. At this point you will be at no profit, no loss situation, and if you are less than this point, if you are on the left side of this point, then you have loss. So this will be the break even chart. Now if corresponding to this point, this is the break even point sales, right? If in the question it will ask that what will be the sales at break even point, then this will be the sales at break even point. And if they ask what will be the number of units at break even point, then this will be the number of units at break even point, right? So this is the break even point sales, and this is the break even point corresponding to the number of units. So now we can say that if we go like this, this angle is your theta. This angle is represented with the help of theta, and this is known as angle of incidence, right? If I write like this angle is theta, This angle is theta, that is known as angle of incidence. Now, if we will go with the slides, now if you see from here, if you see from this graph which we make, this one, right, you can see from here, right, you can see from here, one second. Now see from this graph, here we have sales in volume, here we have cost, right, here we have total cost or total revenue in this axis. In this axis we have sales or volume, number of units produced, right. So we can say that, suppose this line is the fixed line, fixed cost, this one is the fixed cost, right, and we can say this is the variable cost, this is the total cost, this line is total cost, and this is total sales. So this area we have profit, this area we have loss, and this point is known as break even point. So this region above this is known as margin of safety, and this is known as margin of safety sales. This is your margin of safety sales, right, and this is your margin of safety in terms of production, right. What is the meaning of margin of safety? Margin of safety will tell you that how far you are from the break even point. We don't want to be near this break even point. Any organization will not prefer that they will be near to this break even point, because any one uncertainty will make you that your organization will be at this break even point or less than this break even point, and you will incur some loss. You always want that your organization will be far away from this break even point, and this parameter will be told with the help of this margin of safety, right. Margin of safety will indicate that how far we are from this break even point or this point of danger. This is a point of danger because at this point, at break even point, there should not be any profit, no loss condition, and if you are less than this break even point, you will be incurring some loss. So the margin of safety will be as much as possible. So this is the margin of safety sales in terms of rupees, and this is the margin of safety in this direction. We have margin of safety in terms of units of production. So we can say that, in other words, at break even point, as we already discussed, the selling price of the product will be equal to the total cost of production. The selling price of the product will be equal to the total cost of production. Now, if we can say that at break even point, we already discussed this, at break even point there is no profit, no loss situation. There is no profit, no loss situation. Hence, at break even point, your revenue will be equal to total cost. That means the total sales will be equal to the total cost at break even point, right. This will be the sum of the, we already discussed what is the fixed cost, right, and what will be the variable cost, we already discussed. So total cost, we see that total cost will be equal to fixed cost plus variable cost, right. Now let us discuss one important thing. So we can say that at break even point there is no profit, no loss condition. So we can say that from here, if you say, now see, at break even point, we can say that total sales will be equal to total cost. total sales will be equal to total cost of production, right? That means at break even point the profit of the organization will be zero. The profit of the organization will be zero. There should not be any profit at break even point. We know that as from our earlier discussion, we say that the total sales will be equal to, if you remember, we write that total sales will be equal to total cost. What will be the total cost of production? Plus we include some profit in it because every organization wants this profit. So total cost plus profit. So what will be the total sales? Total sales is selling price of one unit into number of units produced will be equal to, what will be the total cost? That will be equal to fixed cost plus variable cost plus profit P. So this will be the equation, that total sales will be equal to total cost plus profit, and total cost will be equal to fixed cost plus variable cost, right? Fixed cost plus variable cost. Now from here you can write that, I can write that this small s into x minus variable cost of one unit into x will be equal to F plus P. So from here you can write, if I take x common, this will be equal to S minus V, which will be equal to F plus P, right? From here you can say that, from here you will get that the number of units produced will be equal to F plus P divided by small s minus small v, right? This is the number of units produced. F plus P divided by small s minus small v. Now we can say that at break even point, if we want to discuss what will be the number of units of production at break even point, so at break even point we know that profit will be equal to zero. Profit will be equal to zero at break even point. So we can say that the number of units produced at corresponding to break even point, x at break even point will be equal to, if I put this profit 0, right? So this will be equal to F divided by small s minus small v. You have to remember this formula for the number of units at break even point. The number of units at break even point, that is F divided by small s minus small v. That means we are talking about this one. This will be equal to x at break even point will be equal to F upon small s minus small v. This will be equal to F upon small s minus small v. Now what will be the break even point sales, right? If you want to find out what will be the break even point sales in terms of rupees, if you want to find the break even point sales will be equal to, what will be the sales? That will be selling price of one unit into number of units produced at break even point. Number of units produced at break even point, this will be the break even point sales. So this will be equal to, we can say that break even point sales in terms of rupees, if you want to find out, this will be equal to small s into, what will be this x at break even point? F upon small s minus small v. F upon small s minus small v. This will be the break even point sales. This will be the break even point sales, right? You have to remember this formula also, right? You can see the derivation, no need to remember, you can easily solve. So this break even point sales, this will be equal to S into F divided by small s minus small v. right? S into F divided by small s minus small v. This is the break even point in terms of this cost, and X at break even point will be this one. So if the number of units, the production quantity will be less than this X at break even point, you will be in the loss. If the number of units produced will be more than this, then you will be in the profit. So this is the basic concept of break even analysis. This is the basic concept of break even analysis.